It's World War III watch. Let's just face it, it's already started. We're not counting it down anymore, guys. We're just waiting for the moment where they retroactively say we've been in World War III. Some say since 2014, but let's try at least slow the brakes on it a little bit. Some people thought we were going to slow the brakes on it by bringing Trump into office because he was running on anti-war. I think that was kind of the thing. He was running as an anti-war candidate. Sorry for those of you who fell for that one. He's worse. He's worse this time than his first term as far as his war policy goes. So let's look at what's been happening. First, we're going to look at what's been going on in Yemen. Trump tweets this out a few days ago. Oh wait, hold on a second. Let me pull up his actual tweet. Sorry, guys. Where did it go? And then we'll get the response from Patrick. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's the right one. Okay. Rewind, playback. Here we go. This is from Patrick Henningsen, friend of the show. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I got the wrong one. Okay. Backing up. Here we go. So Trump tweets this out on Truth Social. This is Trump claiming that we got the terrorists, the Houthis, which he's calling, it's again, in Yemen, we have a similar marketing campaign that we have in Gaza, and the same one that we have in Syria, the same one we have in Lebanon. You take the terrorist group and you make that be the blanket label of every civilian in that country. So in the case of Yemen, it's the Houthis. They're the terrorists. So everybody in Yemen is a terrorist, just like everyone in Gaza is a terrorist because they're all part of Hamas. And in Lebanon, they're all part of Hezbollah. So this is Trump gloating about his recent attack on civilians and murdered them. He posts the video on his Truth Social. This is the actual video he posted. He's showing his own war crimes. Here we go. Look at that. He blows them up. This is a military action on civilians in Yemen. That's what's going on here. He just annihilated. Did you guys see the shot of the people? Let's play that again and I'll pause it. There they are. That is the group of what he calls this a group of terrorists, of Houthis. These are actual civilians. So he's actually putting on a timestamp out into the public a actual war crime he's committing. He and his team are committing, and he's gloating about it, showing off, blowing people up. This is exactly what Bush and Cheney would never have posted, but they were doing the same thing in Iraq. The same thing. And WikiLeaks found the footage and posted it. And then what happened? You guys know what happened next. Julian Assange got thrown in prison for years for doing journalism, which was reporting that Bush and Cheney's regime was murdering innocent civilians in Iraq and gloating about it. This is exactly what Trump is doing now, but he doesn't need a Julian Assange or WikiLeaks to expose it. He's exposing himself. So those of you who aren't convinced, you think these are actual terrorists because Trump told us they were. He told us they were Houthis planning their next assault on the U.S. Well, this is what they actually were. That's the group right there. These are civilians. You guys understand? These are actual civilians, right? Like you're understanding that, right? He's giving away. This is not a group of people getting together to bomb U.S. ships. That's not happening. He just murdered these people and then bragged about it. So this is us intensifying our military might on civilians. This is nothing new, but it is horrific to see, and it's horrific to see people bragging about it like Trump does. And if any one of his supporters are still okay with this, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. I want to hear. I want to hear Nico House, Hotspot, RBN. These guys. Nico's going to break this down for us of what's actually happening in Yemen right now. But you guys saw it with your own eyes. Trump sharing that he murdered these people and are gloating about it as if this is some sort of way to protect our country when this is just doing the bidding of Israel. Here's Nico House.
Trump just got done crashing the economy, but that doesn't mean he couldn't find some loose change laying around to blow $1 billion on a losing effort against the Houthis. The United States has been engaged in an offensive against Yemen and the Houthis for just about 3 weeks, and it's cost them about $1 billion. And you know what they have to show for it? Not a damn thing. In fact, according to 3 people asked by CNN, the military strikes have had limited impact on destroying the group's military capability. And even though they've had limited impact, the Pentagon said that they're even trying to request supplemental funding and are going to need to if they want any chance of having impact. But they're not confident Congress is going to give it to them. And why would they? They're getting their asses whooped. Now, I know some of you might be thinking about that video that Trump posted where he said a group of Houthis were gathered planning an attack on the U.S. and that he bombed the hell out of them and they'll never sink one of our ships again. Except for there are 2 problems with that. One, that little circle that he attacked was an Eid gathering, not military troops. And even though Trump says that the Houthis will never attack one of our U.S. naval vessels again, he's leaving out the fact that the Houthis have never attacked one of our U.S. naval vessels. So now when you consider the fact that the United States cut off 50,000 Yemeni people, civilians, from their water supply, it makes a lot more sense because you're having 0 success militarily. You really don't have any justification for the money that you're spending there. And so you attack civilians in hopes that it would demoralize the Houthis. And what's crazy about all of this is that this is exactly what J.D. Vance was worried about. If you remember the signal chat, that we would be spending money for another country's interests, despite the fact that it could end up being a net negative for the United States, especially in a situation that hasn't actually affected us until we decided to put ourselves in it. So now we have.
So this is what happens. This is what happens when we work on behest of another country, not us. This is what happens. We put ourselves in an offensive position where we're losing on every scale. We're losing on a financial scale. We're losing on a focus scale. We're losing on a morality scale. We're losing on a position of power scale. We are literally someone else's bitch, and that's Israel. And if it's not as clear today as you guys now, it'll never be. The fact that Donald Trump can tweet this out on Truth Social and not have any consequences, just like we saw the Pete Hegseth and the J.D. Vance, the fist bumping Nico House was just referring to. You guys saw that on our show. We covered that. The fist bumping of this is when we get them, and they blew the crap out of that apartment building because there was a Houthi leader in there who happened to his girlfriend's house, just blew the shit out of it. And then they're turning off the water. 50,000 people without water, trying to demoralize them, as Nico says. This doesn't end well. Again, we do this shit over and over. And the fact that people who don't understand that this is the thing to be mad about with Donald Trump, this is the problem. But they're not in the street for the right reason. They're not in the street for the right reason because because a lot of them don't know what's going on. And this is really bad. This is all, and this is not just, we're not just looking back in the past. This is happening right now in real time. In real time. And then we had this. An American citizen was shot and killed by Israeli soldiers overnight in the West Bank. Again, this is happening at the same time that we're just annihilating Yemen and killing civilians, turning off their water, bombing the shit out of them. We're killing now American citizens in the West Bank. We are funding all this. So this is us. When it says Israel, it's Israel, U.S. We're aligned. We're like their henchmen. They're whatever you want to say. Whoever's the head of the monster, whoever's the arm. It doesn't. We're connected by the same body of money and arms. This and war machine in general. Just our entire thing is Israel, and we're working on behest of them. The video below was released by the IDF showing the 14-year-old with 2 other people. The statement provided says they were throwing stones. They always say this. They were throwing stones. The director of the best documentary this year, No Other Land, he was throwing stones. So we had to arrest him. We had to assault him. We had to torture him. We had to kidnap him. Sorry, guys, no stones involved. I promise you, no stones involved. Let's see the video. Let's see what Glenn Greenwald has to say about this one. Israel has repeatedly killed Americans in the West Bank. They killed a U.S. journalist, at first denied it, then video proved they did, so admitted to it. Now they just shot a 14-year-old American. Today, Trump will hold Netanyahu's chair again for him at the table. This is Glenn Greenwald predicting that Netanyahu's chair will be let out again, like a waiter does to a customer at their fine restaurant. Glenn Greenwald predicts this. And then the next day, he said, when I said that one the other day of Israel murdering the 14-year-old in the West Bank, Trump would hold Netanyahu's chair for him like a waiter. I was speaking metaphorically because he did it the last time. But yes, he did it again. There you go. There you go. There you go, war criminal. You see that again? There you go. Make sure there you go. Is there anything else I can get you? Can I get you a water? Can I get you some bread and butter? You want some chips and salsa? You want an appetizer before we bring out your main course? You want some dead Gazan children? What do you want? What do you want for dessert? Mr. BB, what do you want for after your main course? We want to bring you out a nice dessert. How about some expansion of Israel? You want a little Lebanon, a little Syria? Hell, we'll throw in a little Jordan. Why not? A little Jordan in there. What else? You want all of Gaza? Well, you can't have all of Gaza. We're gonna have to put our name on it, but you can have it. We'll kick the Palestinians out. We'll ethnic cleanse that shit for you, which you did such a good job of annihilating. Anything we can get you. Oh, and don't worry about the bill. The bill it's on us, Mr. BB. It's on us. The bill is on us. The bill is on us. As RFK Jr. says, blank check for you, baby. Blank check. No red line for you either. Whatever you want, all you can eat buffet, all you can eat Gaza children. You can eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whatever you want. Don't worry about the bill. It's on us. And then we have to look at this red carpet treatment by this freaking war criminal. Wanted by the ICC, any other place in the world except 4 countries, you will be arrested in handcuffs and hauled away. This is how we treat war criminals. This is how we treat psychopath murderers. We give them literally the red carpet treatment. That's what we do. That's what we do. And we're not protesting that. We're protesting the stock market. We're protesting Teslas. We're protesting Elon Musk making a Nazi salute. Is that what you wanted to see? That's the thing that got you up out of bed on Saturday. Going out there trying to protect the war machine, protect NATO. It says it on their freaking sign. It's absolutely insane. So let's get to the part of the actual meeting where Trump says the quiet part out loud. Oh boy, does he like talking. And look at Netanyahu's face as Trump talks about the freedom zone, which has been created in Gaza, a freedom zone he's working on after all the dead Palestinian children and women and citizens and journalists are all cleared up. All their bones and skulls are in the ground or thrown away. We got a plan for Gaza. It's called the Freedom Zone. Let's hear him and watch Netanyahu's face while Trump's talking. It's quite remarkable. Quite remarkable.
How I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. Because right now, all it is for years and years, all I hear about is killing and Hamas and problems. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that, and you really have a freedom.
So he's talking about ethnic cleansing, guys. That's where you move people out. You clear it out. Whoever's left, whoever hasn't starved to death or hasn't been blown to bits, you move them out. Ethnic cleansing. That's what's happening.
Zone. You call it the freedom zone, a free zone, a zone where people aren't going to be killed every day. That's a hell of a place. It's you know what I call it, a great location that nobody wants to live in, because they really don't. And when they have good living, real living, where Hamas and all of the problems they have, the level of death on the Gaza Strip is just incredible. And
he's looking at, do you guys see how disgusting this is? He's looking at the guy who's responsible for all of the death and saying how horrible it is. There's so much death. And when you look at it, there's so much death. This piece of ass sitting next to him is the guy doing all the death. And he's saying, enough of that. Let's get him out of there. Let's build our resort. You down for that? And Netanyahu's like, well, no, we want to kill a few more. We want to keep killing, actually, until they're all dead. We'd rather even not move them out. We'd rather just kill them. So stop messing up the plan. And by God, Trump, stop saying the thing out loud that we're just doing. You don't have to keep announcing it. We're in the middle of our slaughter, and it's going really well. But you really have to stop talking about it the way you are. But that's what's happening here.
I've said it. I don't understand why Israel ever gave it up. Israel owned it. It wasn't this man, so I can say it. He wouldn't have given it up. I know him very well.
Given it up? You already took all of the Palestinians' houses and you pushed them out. You pushed them out of the West Bank. You're still pushing them out of the West Bank. You pushed them out of everything, and that's all the little strip you have left is the Gaza Strip. That's all you have left. You of course you pushed them in there. Where else unless you did, if you tried this ethnic cleansing immediately in 1948 or throughout the last several decades, you could have tried it, but I don't know if you could have gotten away with it, because you needed to stage the October 7th thing first. You had to stage that. That had to happen to get public support, which you did very well. And I think the only thing Netanyahu regrets is not staging that October 7th incident years earlier. That's the only thing. He should have done that years earlier. Why did you wait till it was your last move? Because the people wanted you out. We know that. The people wanted him out in Israel. They were protesting him. They wanted him out, and then he staged the October 7th. It was their Israel's version of 9/11 on their own homeland, what they call their homeland, and it worked to perfection. And it got a whole campaign from Biden to allow the money, no red line policy from RFK, as he said, blank check to start your annihilation of the Gaza people. So that happened. And here we are. Trump's, different than Kamala and Biden in the sense that he says this shit out very loud and very proud, whereas the others pretend. Kamala pretends, and if she was president right now, she wouldn't be saying these things. She'd be doing them, but she would be pretending and saying things in more regards of, we're on the phone with Netanyahu, we're trying to come up with a plan, we're trying to fix this. We want another ceasefire. We're unhappy that the last one. You notice Trump doesn't even talk about the ceasefire being broken. It doesn't even concern him. That complete bait and switch, the complete lie. He was bragging about the ceasefire just a few months ago. Now he's acting like it never happened, and they're not murdering children in real time, which they are, like literally right now. They're still murdering children right now. And this, if you guys haven't seen, this is the real estate opportunity, the freedom zone that Trump is talking about. This is it. This is the freedom zone. There you are. Beautiful. Beautiful property. Beautiful. I don't know why you gave it up. Well, I'm glad you annihilated it, but I'm sick of the death. I'm sick of all the death. BB, a lot of death. So anyone who's still standing, let's move them out. Plenty Plenty of places that want to take them. Plenty of places. Here we are. And again, the people in the street on the Democratic Party side are not protesting this. This is not what they're protesting. They're protesting the billionaire class and the stock market and Elon and his Teslas. They're not protesting this, which is quite the shame. Quite a shame indeed. Now let's look at Trump's other lie about the military budget. Because apparently we're about to hit the $1 trillion mark. So this is new developments, guys. Now, again, some people could have predicted this. I don't think I would have said 1 trillion, but there's definitely a bait and switch which occurred from Trump's campaign being anti-war to now, where he is boasting about this. From Adam, Trump has made Doge pointless. He's announced he will be pushing a record-shattering $1 trillion military budget shortly after Netanyahu arrived, by the way. So this is what the meeting was about, was upping the military budget to $1 trillion. This is after promising to slash military spending. He's destroying America at a record speed. And now the total number of U.S. forces in the Middle East has reached 300,000 personnel, including both combat and administrative units, ready to die for Israel. And look at this.
Die in the combat zone. If I die in the combat zone, box me up and ship me home. Box me up and ship me home. Pin my medals up on my chest. Pin my medals up on my chest. Tell my mama I done my best. Tell my mama I done my best. Die in the combat zone.
I don't know if you guys can hear that chant, but it's pretty dark and disturbing, especially in the circumstances we're in. It's not like we're the good guys fighting something else that's dark and bad and we have to do our best and be the heroes. No, we are the bad guys. And it makes that chant more disturbing when you hear the language that they have to chant. It's pretty disturbing, guys. Talking about if I don't make it, put me in a box, put me in a body bag, send me home. Tell my mama I've done my best. It's pretty dark and disturbing. Tell my mama. So I'll be in a body bag, in a box, ship me home. That's if I don't make it out. If I get killed in a combat zone. So that's what we were saying. If I get killed in a combat zone, throw me in a box, send me home. And then when my mama sees my dead body, just make sure she's told that I did my best. And what exactly did you do your best at? And if mama asks, what did he do his best at? The correct answer would be being a tool of the Western imperialism machine, Israel, U.S. war mongering monsters. I did my best at murdering people and seizing their property and helping with the greater Israel project. I killed as many children and women as possible. Israel was doing a great job with it, but they needed us to get there and do it ourselves. So we're doing it with them. We worked very well with those psychopaths, the IDF psychopath army. We helped them with the murdering as many people as we could. And then we didn't gloat as much about it on our social media as they do because we get more pushback like we saw in Abu Ghraib. So we didn't do that, but we did our best. So tell my mama I did my best. Tell her, please, if I don't make it, if I get killed. And again, as Adam says, the number of Middle East U.S. forces has reached 300,000. We are hitting a $1 trillion mark for military spending. And Trump is bragging about it. This is him right next to Netanyahu telling the press, telling us at home, everybody can hear it, the media can hear it, and they're not making this the number one story. They're brushing this under the rug because they don't want to talk about this military budget because they like it. So why would they give this as a strike to Trump that he's bragging about a $1 trillion budget for our military?
We have great things happening with our military. We also essentially approved a budget which is in the facility, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion. And nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because you got a lot of bad forces out there now. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say, actually, the biggest one we've ever done for the military. We're cutting other things that were under Doge, but under a lot of other. When you look at a woman getting $2 billion for environmental, and it had nothing to do with environmental, and they had $100 in the bank, and they give her $2 billion. Many of those cases, all that stuff is going to be cut out. But we are getting a very, very powerful military. We have things under order now, the likes of which we've never had before. We've never had the kind of aircraft, the kind of missiles, anything that we have ordered. And it's in many ways too bad that we have to do it, because hopefully we're not going to have to use it. But the military is very, very powerful, and it's going to remain that way.
You guys should be effing disgusted and enraged that not that this is just happening, that the mainstream media is covering this part up, when their job, as we've seen, is to make Trump into this uniquely evil, unstable, power-hungry psycho who doesn't know shit about shit and lies and does a double cross. As I think that's a joke going around, the double cross, that Trump does a double cross. Why isn't this the first thing we want to talk about? A double cross? $1 trillion in the military budget? Okay, well, what were you saying before? What were you saying in February? This was just February 20th. This is less than 2 months ago. What were you saying? Trump administration orders Pentagon to plan for sweeping budget cuts. A senior Pentagon official said that money saved through the cuts would be realigned to other defense priorities that Trump has. So the plan to cut budgets, and you really read between the lines, he's reappropriating the budget from one part of the military to the other, but it's not going up. It's supposed to be going down. And so in this, you could say, one could argue, oh, well, he's going to move a little money here. He's going to put more over in Israel. He's going to move it from here. The Ukraine, oh, maybe it's the Ukraine war. You cut off Zelensky and you move the money, but maybe over time, we'd be going down, right? That was the take I think people had even just less than 2 months ago. This was going on. This is from February 20th. This isn't and I get the assessment. This is the assessment by one of his followers, Canthan 2030, February 20th. Trump orders the Pentagon to cut its budget 8% every year for the next 5 years. So by that logic, by 2030, the total budget will be 35% smaller than today. The savings will be made possible in two ways: reduce U.S. troops in Europe, use Doge to eliminate fraud and waste. Very reasonable and prudent. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. We're getting a larger military budget. And Doge seems like it's what's making this possible. So any cuts that Doge is doing, this is where it's going. You guys remember that $5,000 check that everyone was going to get? Doesn't look like that's happening. It looks like the Doge money they're going to take out of these programs that they got rid of and all the wasted money from US aid, and they're going to recycle it right over and reassign it to our military budget for $1 trillion. That's what's going on. So Doge is not a cleaner upper. Doge is a reassigner. That's what Doge is. Shut down one corrupt agency, open another. That's what we all said. That's what Craig Pasta predicted. Fiorella predicted that. Everybody in our space predicted that. And they were right. They were right. I admit I was the more optimistic one that said, well, let's see. Maybe there will be a $5,000 check. Let's see. Maybe they can at least swing a little bit to the people. But meanwhile, The only protest going on about this is the wrong protest. You have Cory Booker doing this whole, you guys saw this, we covered this last week, doing this horrible speech, 25-hour speech, not once mentioning Palestine or Gaza or Israel. Israel supported this speech. He was trained firsthand, private coaching by Rabbi Shmuley to do the 25-hour speech. And according to Medea Benjamin, Cory Booker, as soon as he finished that speech, he voted yes to send 35,000 more bombs to Israel to kill children in Gaza. This is what's been happening, and nobody on the left cares. More people on the right seem to care than on the left. Bombing the crap out of children. You know what else they're doing? They're targeting journalists. You guys saw that. Here's a shot. Max Blumenthal just shared this one out. You guys want to see this? This is a journalist tent in Gaza being burnt. People in the tents are journalists being killed right now. This is how empires fall. We overextend militarily. We treat the people here like crap on our own homeland, and we go out kicking and screaming as our empire falls. That's what we do. And to cover it all up, we have the media protecting this storyline. You have nobody in the street protesting this that is being covered on mainstream. They're only covering the fake protests. The Cory Booker is getting applauded for standing up against whatever. He's standing up against Trump, Bernie and LC, fighting the oligarchy. Meanwhile, this is the thing we should be protesting. This war criminal on a red carpet, which again, this is how empires fall. We do red carpet events as our economy is tanking, and we're overextending militarily, treating everybody here like crap, while we pit them against each other, and they don't see that all of them, all of the elite, all of the billionaires, they're all in on it together. And if we don't figure this out soon, the kicking and screaming that I'm talking about, guys, is going to turn into, retroactively, it's going to turn into World War III. That's what it will be. Because Bibi wants his war. He wants his war with Iran. That's what he wants. He wants that war so bad. And unless Trump has some 60, 70, 8D chess ready to go, he's going to get that war. And if he gets that war, we're screwed. We are screwed. That is World War III watch.